Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you this colorful spring look. If you'd like to see how I achieved this, please keep watching. Today I'm going to be using the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette. The first brush I'm going to use is the two-sided Smashbox brush. I'm taking the shade White Chocolate and I'm going to apply it all over the lid. In this step, we really want to make sure that we're blending it all over the lid so it can be really nice and smooth. This shade is going to help later on when I'm using the darker colors. It's going to make them so much easier to blend together. The first shade I'm taking is Salted Caramel from the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette. I'm going to be using my double-sided Anastasia brush that came in my Modern Renaissance palette. I'm really making sure that this color is blended out, and what helps me is taking a big fluffy brush once I have applied the shadow and just going over it, making sure that there's no harsh lines later on. Now all we're doing is taking the same shade and using the same technique and just building the color until it satisfies you. Now I'm taking my favorite, the Modern Renaissance palette. The first shade I'm going to be using is Burnt Orange. Here I'm taking Burnt Orange and just blending that with Salted Caramel just to give it some more depth. Now I'm taking my big fluffy brush and just blending those two shadows together to make sure there is no harsh lines. To intensify the color, I'm using the shade Real Gar from the Modern Renaissance palette, and I'm also taking the Anastasia brush that came in that palette to blend all my colors together. I'm mainly focusing it on the center of my crease. Once I'm done building the color, I'm going to take my big fluffy brush and just blend out all those shadows, of course, to make sure there's no harsh lines. Now I'm taking my e.l.f. blending brush and taking the shade Real Gar again and taking that into my crease just to further intensify the color a little more. Next, I'm going to switch to my Anastasia blending brush and just blend out those shadows. Once I blend it out with this brush, I'm going to switch to my big fluffy brush and blend it out once more just to make sure that everything is super nice. For this step, we will need a flat pencil brush, and we're going to take this red shade, and I'm just going to focus this on the center of my crease. This way, when I cut my crease later on, it will show very sharp. Once I'm done intensifying the color, I'm going to take my big fluffy brush and just blend out all those shadows. I use the same technique, and it does not do me wrong. To cut my crease, I'm going to be using my Anastasia Cream Contour Kit and a flat concealer brush. I will start off in the center of my lid where I will apply the most product and then start blending out sideways. Once I have the shape I want, I'm applying more product just to make sure it's more sharp when I apply the shadow on top. on taking the shade Primavera and applying that on top of where I cut my crease and just blending that shadow out in tapping motions so that way it gives it a defined shape. Next, I blend my crease with my Anastasia brush. For my liner, I like to start at the end of my eye and draw a line towards my tail of my brow, and then I tilt my head back to make sure that both lines are even, and then I will continue to darken that. For me, I like to start at my wing and find how thick I want my liner to be, and then I'll work my way in towards the center of my eye. Once I'm satisfied with the shape, I will go back in and fill in the lines with my liner. I just wanted to show you guys this step because it's live. I did mess up on my eyeliner, but all I did was take a flat concealer brush, and it's actually the one I used to cut my crease, and I just cleaned it up really quickly. For foundation, I'm taking my True Match, my sponge, and my infallible setting spray. I like to spray my sponge with my setting spray. It makes my foundation more dewy and it does help it last. For concealer, I'm taking my Anastasia Cream Contour Kit in the Banana shade. It's actually the same shade I used to cut my crease. I'm not sure if I mentioned that. And I like to apply this under my eyes, on the bridge of my nose, on my forehead, on my chin, and also underneath where I usually contour. Here I'm taking my stippling e.l.f. brush and the lightest shade from my Anastasia Cream Contour Kit. I'm applying it on the hollows of my cheeks, on my temples, on the bridge of my nose, and also under my chin. Next, I like to use my Fit Me foundation stick, and I use that on my nose and just to deepen up my contour a little bit. Once I blend out my contour, I like to go back in with the white shade and blend that together and do my contour one more time just to blend it all. Make sure that it's very defined and it gives it a really nice shape. To bake, I will be taking my Airspun translucent powder. I like to blend out underneath my eyes and my smile lines, anywhere that will crease before we bake, and then I take the flat end and use that to apply my powder. To set my face, I will be taking my powder puff and the airspun and just using that all over my face. Next, I will be taking a big fluffy brush just to remove any excess powder. To darken my brows, I'm going to be taking the e.l.f. Clear Brow Gel. To bronze the face, I will be taking my Too Faced Chocolate Soleil bronzer and a big fluffy brush and just going over all the areas I contoured. Next, I'm taking my Too Faced Cocoa Contour Kit. I'm going to take the darkest shade, and I'm also taking my e.l.f. brush, and I'm using that against the edges of my nose just to give it a little more depth. Next, I will be taking my big flan brush and using that to blend out where I just contoured on my nose. To clean up my contour, I'm taking a flat brush and the lightest shade for my contour kit. Here I'm taking my big fluffy brush and the darkest shade for my contour kit and just going over my contour once more. I like it to be very dark. And for the next step, I'm taking my favorite blush. I'm not sure of the name, but I will definitely go ahead and list it down below for everyone. Now my favorite part, I'm taking my Anastasia Glow Kit and I'm taking the shades Bubbly and Dripping in Gold, mixing them both together and applying them on everywhere where I usually highlight on my face. This is my favorite. It makes my foundation look super dewy. It's perfect for spring. For my lower lash line, I'm taking the shade Burnt Orange Real Gar and all the same shades we used earlier. I'm using the same technique so that way it can give it a nice smoky effect. Next, I am taking mascara and applying it lightly over my lower lashes. For the lips, I'm going to be using my favorite liquid lipstick by Kat Von D. This is a very important step. I'm using my flat brush and concealer to clean up my lipstick to make sure that everything's very sharp. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope y'all enjoyed this look. Please feel free to leave any comments down below and I will see y'all in my next video. Bye!